The hairy bikers are back, and this time we are going west.
We've been on the road in search of the world's best food stories for more than 20 years.
But after my recent struggles, it looked like our adventures could be over. When I was told I was ill, I never thought I'd ride a motorcycle again.
There's a spirit of Dave that I've always loved.
And we're doing it.
We are, mate. We're here.
On this trip,
Can I come up here and have a shot?
Absolutely.
Yes! We'll be revisiting some of the places that have meant so much to us in the past. It's funny, it takes me back here when I was young and thrusting.
I beg your pardon?
And sampling the best food on offer.
Like it's biblical.
while making some new friends along the way.
That was it.
Yes, I love that sound.
It's going to be a trip of a lifetime. Being here today with you, it's not just light, mate.
No.
It's a bloody searchlight.
As we go west.
It's been amazing.
It has, bro. It has.
It has.
Love you.
You know, Dave, there's nothing better than sharing the open road with your best mate.
That's right, Kingy. I first fell in love with two wheels when I was just knee-high to my dad's Norton. But recently, I've been on a difficult and very personal journey of my own, dealing with cancer. I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to get back in the saddle again.
We've got tea.
Way!
Here you are, Mucker.
Yes!
How's it feeling with your balance and all that? Is it
Oh,
all
I
right?
love it, all this. I'll show you, look. I mean, there was a time when I couldn't balance, I couldn't walk. I didn't think I'd be getting a bike, but now I sound as a pound, mate.
So how have you got that back? Bloody hard work.
Hard work, physiotherapy.
And the physios.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've still got, like, my foot in a splint and, you know, to change gear and stuff, but that works,
That's
you know.
all right, dude. That's
but
all right.
it's just joyous. I love the whole paraphernalia with the bike, tinkering with the panniers, just the smell of the bike. It's a dream come true, Kingy. You know, I appreciate it so much.
You know, through all of that adversity that you've been through for the past 18 months, this is the payoff to your hard work, to your will, to your effort. So good, man.
Oh, it is. I'm drinking it in like a man who's been
Yeah.
in the desert. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
By the way, your tea's not bad either. We're starting off our great western adventure in Scotland, one of our favourite places in the whole world.
Aye, it's on these roads 30-odd years ago we became best friends.
And today, we're heading towards Wemyss Bay, around 30 miles west of Glasgow, to take a ferry to the gorgeous island of Bute.
And with the bike stored, the sun shining, it doesn't just feel like a ferry ride through the Firth of Clyde, more like a trip in a time machine.
Bute. Yeah.
Scotland.
Oh, Scotland's always been so good to us. And it's kind of like, it's where the bikers started, isn't it?
Well, yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. You used to come up to Newcastle, you lived in Huntly.
Yeah.
We
Then we
used to
go west.
Go west.
Go west.
Well, look, what did it have? It had the dram. It had
Aye.
great seafood. Had great fishing. Actually, I'm interested to find out what's going on. Because when we came 30 years ago, there was stuff going on, but not that much.
No,
and
but
it's
no.
just exploded recently.
Oh, I'm excited. Do you know, I can't tell you what this means to me. It's been such a tough 2 years.
I know.
And we're
I know.
doing it.
You're an amazing man.
Oh,
I'm massively impressed.
Thought you'll set me off. I think it's a good idea, this one. When we say go west, we're starting here.
Yeah.
You know, it's a perfect place. It's kind of neither Highland nor Lowland.
No.
It's a good place to start.
And I'm looking forward to it. I'm with my best mate in the sunshine, back on the bikes, watching you and me rear view mirror. I love you.
Hey, love you too.
It's lush. It's great to be back.
Aye.
We're landing in Rothesay, the main, and in fact only, town on the island.
And it soon becomes clear that although this 50-mile stretch of land is home to just 6,000 residents or so, there's a clear appetite for great local produce.
Erin runs this local deli a stone's throw from the ferry.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello, I'm Dave. Nice to meet you.
Dave.
Hello.
And it's a literal shop window of some of the best the island has to offer. I love a good deli, and it is such a reflection about what's available.
Yeah.
You're quite passionate about Butte produce, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got various items from Button. We do a lot of the Isle of Butte Smokehouse products, which is the smoked salmon and the smoked trout, and we've got their smoked cheese, and we do lamb from our own farm at Scalpsea.
So is it quite important to encourage people to create their own produce on the island?
Absolutely. It is the sort of place where there's a lot of space to grow things and to make things and produce things, and so we should be encouraging people to make more.
Perfect place to come for a picnic then.
Perfect. Come and have a
That's
look.
what a
We've got
great
fresh
start.
breads and pastries.
Who does your bread?
We bake the breads here in the morning, so we've got various pastries
beautiful.
and there's a little sample of the ciabatta there. This is a sample of the Isle of Butte Smokehouse cheese, so you can
you.
try
Let's have a
some
go
of our
at that,
local
definitely.
cheese.
Thanks, Aaron.
Lovely.
Oh, that is good.
We'll have some of that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, look. Taste the game. Grouse, crisps. What about smoked pheasant?
No, not cheese and onion.
Duck.
The duck ones are the most popular.
It's too poshy of you.
It is, isn't it?
We've got venison, smoked salmon, smoked trout.
Some smoked trout, 'cause it's nice and delicate.
Yeah.
Trout is my favourite, so I
Oh,
highly
yes.
recommend.
Hold on. What about a pie? Should we get a big one or a little? Let's
A little one.
Let's not
We'll
overface
face ourselves.
Yes, yes. Here we are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
I think we've got enough to keep us going, Mr. King.
Congratulations. It's a lovely place.
Thank
Thank you for coming
Cheers,
in.
Aaron.
Enjoy
Thanks a
Butte.
lot.
All we need now is a place to enjoy it.
Fortunately, the island offers plenty of spectacular options. So for your starter, Mr. King, we have some freshly baked sourdough bread, local, surmounted by some smoked trout. Dig in.
Look at this.
Oh.
Pretty special, isn't it?
Despite its size, with its wonderful combination of hills and beaches, Butte's never been short of visitors wanting to enjoy every inch of its 47 square miles.
There's a microclimate anyway on Butte, so it's slightly warmer than anywhere else, isn't it?
Did pass a load of palm trees.
Yeah, well, it's the Gulf Stream, I guess.
Yeah, and
isn't
then when
it?
you get up to Plockton, further up the coast, it really is quite tropical.
Oh, what?
Between the 1930s and the 50s, Rothsay, like the capital of the island, was a seaside venue of choice.
Right.
And locals and Glaswegians would say, 'cause it's not far from Glasgow, well, go and doon the water. And that was it. But Victorians loved it as well. They would come here. You know, it's one of those special places. I think it's seen some hard times as well, like everywhere. But people like Erin are working so hard to bring the island and exploit what's good about it, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
fair play to them. This pie's great.
On the scale of piness.
Solid 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a bad way to reintroduce ourselves to the island's food scene, mate.
Aye, there's certainly been some changes since we last came ashore 30-odd years ago. But we're learning Butte hasn't been shy in embracing change. Several years ago, the island opened its doors to 30 or so families from Syria, looking to escape their country's war.
Refugees Mohammed and Tasnim set up this wonderful cafe and patisserie here, employing Tasnim's brother Madge along the way.
And we've heard together they've created something really special.
Hello, good morning. Oh, this is very nice.
Oh, it looks
How are
lovely.
you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are
We're
you?
getting better by the minute.
Yeah,
Good, good.
So
definitely.
you've got lots of traditional cakes, but there's additional spice and excitement, isn't there?
Yeah, so most of the things we've got is French patisseries, and we've got some sort of Syrian as well. We have some baklava here, and we also have our homemade harissa as well. Everything here, we all homemade.
Can I ask, how did the Syrian bakery, in essence, end up on Butte?
War started in our country.
Yes.
And we were very lucky to be here. My husband, Mohammed, he's the co-owner with my dad. They decided to start this business together.
Right.
And the island was a great support, and it was an amazing start for the business.
Amongst all this, you won an award as the Scottish Bakery of the Year.
Some of our products, like the apple pie and the carrot cake, won a prize. in
That's
the
fantastic.
Scottish Baker.
I'll invite you inside to where the magic happens.
Oh,
Brilliant.
brilliant.
Brilliant. Madge is only 20, but has been learning his craft here for more than 6 years, whilst also studying mechanical engineering.
I can't wait to see what this man of many talents is going to produce.
So, Madge, What are we making today?
So what we're making is 3 different type of tarts. One is going to be a strawberry tart, and one of them is going to be a pistachio and raspberry, and one of them is going to be a lemon meringue tart. We're going to get the torch going. And burn that meringue.
lovely.
But before we can get to those delicious flavours, Marge needs to create a pastry for the bases.
It's quite a rich dough, quite short, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a fast shortbread, but it doesn't
Right.
crumble very easy as well. So when you cut into it, it stays intact. It doesn't all just crumble
Crumbles
apart.
up, yeah.
Did you come here from Syria as well?
Yes, I did, yeah. I
How
was
old-
quite young
how
when I
old?
came here. Well, when I came here, I was 12 years old.
And what was it like?
I mean, starting out at the school, it was a little bit difficult to, you know, I couldn't speak to any of my mates at school, so it took me like a year, but as you can see now, I've got a wee bit of a Scottish accent, it's all good. It's all good.
It's more than a little bit, I've got to say, it's more than a little
Proper
bit. It's
Scottish
brilliant.
accent, yeah. Is there much of a Syrian influence within the bakery, within the food?
We use quite a lot of rose water, so which is kind of originated from where we are. And that rose water is used in mostly in the pistachio stuff that you are going to taste today as well.
Because that's a great combo, isn't it? Rose and
It's an
pistachio.
amazing combo,
Yeah.
so hopefully you will
Sensational.
like that.
When Marge is happy with the pastry,
It's lovely, it's pliable. You can work with this.
it gets placed in rings so the ventilation can keep things dry and crisp.
And then after a turn in the oven, comes the fun bit, with the custard and cream.
Oh, you've definitely done that before.
Yeah. It's like when you fill a donut, isn't it?
Oh, look at that. Very skillful.
It's good, isn't it?
It looks absolutely epic. That's what I love about fine patisserie. It's a very gentle display of skill and focused knowledge to produce something very beautiful. It's great.
So what we'll do here is we'll put the meringue on, Italian meringue,
Yeah.
and I've made up earlier. And this will give it the nice crispy look at the top.
Doesn't take much heat, does it, for it to work?
No, it doesn't. You shouldn't apply too much as well. It gets burnt really quickly.
Yeah. It's
Absolutely beautiful, Madge. Well done.
Thank you very much.
What a wonderful example of a fusion of tastes and culture made right here in Butte.
Oh, man, yeah.
Nice.
You just get that little hint of rose water. Really good.
Lovely.
And it's that union of a little bit of Middle Eastern flavours in there as well, with
Yes.
flavours we know and recognise, put together perfectly.
There's a lovely chew to it as well. There's a spring with that.
Yeah.
With the
Pistachios,
with the
yeah.
pistachios. So good, man.
Thank you.
That's really
Thank you
clever.
very much.
Your
I
hospitality.
appreciate that you're coming. I appreciate you coming here.
Not
and
at all.
trying to-
It's very nice to be here.
Well, we thought we might stumble across 1 or 2 new discoveries, but this has really blown our socks off. What a wonderful story. Well, what a leap of faith for the people who came here. I love the way that Madge was very proud of what he's doing, and the produce is great. I've got such respect for them. That's patisserie. It's a lovely heart of the island, you know. It's great to see new faces bringing in fresh new ideas, especially here on Butte, where the population has been declining.
And keeping people on the island is the aim of a rather remarkable charity we've discovered just down the road.
It's a 6-acre market garden called Butte Produce.
Run by Rini,
What? Hello, I'm
Hi.
Dave.
Welcome to Butte
I've
Produce.
heard a lot about you.
along with volunteer coordinator Steve and head gardener Rab, it's not just about growing delicious and affordable grub for the locals, it's also about creating jobs for them too.
So really, what's the ethos behind this fantastic organisation and garden?
So there's 2 elements to it. One's the environment and
Yes.
being sustainable and living sustainable, and the other one is people. And a big part of that was creating skills development opportunities for people, because there's not access to that on the island.
Some understanding that this is a commercial enterprise, but yours is different. Yours is to give people a livelihood as well.
Yeah, we have a modern apprentice, and then we are joined by employability placements.
What is it you've got going on there?
So at plot 1 in the bottom, we've got parsley. Then as we move up, snowball turnips. We've got some kale and some brassicas just behind. Potatoes, it's mostly red onion till the top. We've got some garlic and spring onion up the very top.
I think what you're doing is amazing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a bit more of a look about, mind. Would you?
Yeah.
Aye.
Might even get you to dig a shaw.
Oh, will I? Will I? I'm up for that.
Muscles in his spit,
Ah,
that
you know,
lad.
you would be all right there.
Yeah, I'm more the executive. You know.
Yeah.
Well, you can stay with me then, because
Oh,
that's where I
smashing.
live.
Oh, we'll have a cup of tea and a leather.
Well, I think
I love how this project brings the whole island's food and people together. All the produce grown here gets boxed and sold direct to the locals, which keeps the prices low. And both Steve and Rob get qualifications that help keep them on the island, along with the benefit of knowing they're helping to feed their neighbours too.
Oh, man, this is... Oh, look, you've got vines.
Yep.
This
dessert
is fantastic.
grapes.
Look at this lettuce.
So
What's
we've got
this?
lettuce in here, we've got spring onions as well.
Oh, man. So is any worth picking then? Oh, yeah, look.
Yeah, I hope so.
The whole project is an investment in sustaining island life.
How did it start for you then, boys? Because this is obviously a reaction to a need in the community, eh?
Yeah, well, for me personally, I moved up from Leicester.
Right.
I could come in and volunteer.
Perfect.
Been here ever since.
Wow. And you, Rob, what about you?
For me, I started working the company maybe about 14 years ago.
Right.
And I'd applied for a job down at another part of the company when we'd done the recycling.
All right, aye.
So I'd done that, and then I've moved through each part of the company.
And the lads have got big plans to keep the island's food revolution growing.
Basically, we've taken over little plots of land that were disused on the island and turned them into gardens.
Wow.
Everything that's grown in them is free to take for anybody.
Well, you see, from a humble lettuce, look what's happening.
Yep.
It's great. Absolutely great.
And of course, there's not just the economic benefits to this project. Rini, this is the most beautiful place. But you know what I'm getting a sense of? I mean, I love my gardening. You know, I love eating my produce. But I think for one's mental health, it's so important.
Yeah, you really see that when we're doing the employability work. You know, someone starts growing things and it comes from a seed and then ends up food going into a box that goes out to a family. They've achieved something
Yes.
for themselves, but they know that they're also helping their community. And I think that mental health, you just feel better. You just feel
gosh,
good.
yes.
Rini and the team also run a kitchen here and offer cooking classes to showcase how to get the best out of their produce.
And it's also where they come up with ideas for their range of chutneys and jellies.
Butte has a lot of wild garlic.
Oh, what?
And this is a new recipe for us this year. Yeah.
Oh, flipping heck.
That's a winner.
Oh, my God, that's great.
And so it packs a punch.
Oh, that is superb.
And this is new vegan honey.
Have a smell of that one. So, vegan honey.
It's basically dandelion heads soaked in water, and then you do a jam method of weighing the water to sugar and boil it down, and that's what you get.
It's remarkable. And it'll appeal to a whole new
It's been a
echelon of
good seller
society.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, how brilliant. Oh, get in. Very, very ingenious. I like that.
Lovely stuff. I've had the most wonderful afternoon.
So have I.
It's inspiring. And what an introduction to Butte.
It's all Dave and I hoped for, really.
Yeah.
It's so fantastic. Well done,
It
everybody.
is, and-
It's amazing.
Well, this plot might only be 6 acres, but its reach is both far and wide. This is far more than a community garden. It's part of the infrastructure, the heartbeat of the island. You know, it's a commercial project as well. So it's not flight or fantasy or surviving on subsidies. You know, it's providing real food and employment for an awful lot of people. And I love it.
Because it's a beautiful place doesn't mean to say that there's no food poverty. And it's a reaction to that as well. And I just think it's fantastic.
It's been such an inspirational start to our trip out west.
Too right, and those incredible flavours we discovered at the local patisserie, along with all this lovely veg, has fired the adventurous spirit in us too.
We're going to make a lamb sfiha, a Middle Eastern flatbread topped with meat and spices, together with a salad inspired by Rini, but with a Syrian twist. Pinch me, Kingy, go on. I can't quite believe it, we're here, we're back, the Harrys are on the road again.
Oh, yeah, well, our Harrys were definitely on the road.
Yes! I think we've got it right, this food, for our first cook.
Yes.
The Sviha. It's basically like a pizza.
Right, come on then.
I'm going to start by making the dough for the flatbread. It's simple, strong white bread flour and then yeast. And then I will pop in the sugar to activate the yeast. Give that a stir with my incredibly clean hands. You see, once I've incorporated the sugar and the yeast, I can put some salt in now, because hopefully the salt won't kill the yeast. I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil and around 150 mils of tepid water. Mix all that together and give it a thorough kneading. You used to do all the kneading, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
How come now I'm old and infirm I take up the kneading?
I don't know, but I like it.
My door's just about here, really.
Is it?
I believe its elasticity is in the house.
Excellent.
We need to leave this to double in size. That's a nice dough. It's as easy as that. That dough will take about an hour to rise, which means we can concentrate on the topping.
In true baker's fashion, guess what I'm starting with? A finely diced onion.
Hey!
Right.
I'm preparing some finely diced red and green peppers to go with the onion, before grating some garlic.
And build the topping, Dave, I think.
I'm going to use lamb mince for the meat, which you could substitute with beef, but in goes some cinnamon, cumin and Aleppo pepper flakes to spice things up.
If you're the sort of person who would order a meat feast pizza,
You'd love this.
you'd love this, yeah.
Of course, you could use aubergine if you wanted to go veggie instead. Add 2 tablespoons of tomato puree.
What's not to love? Concentrated tomato. Salt.
Don't we?
Yeah, got to season it, man. Pepper, generous.
Yes.
Garlic.
And not forgetting those diced veggies.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, I am. I love stuff like this, and I love all the flavours that we have with it because it's that Middle Eastern, one of the finest cuisines in the world, I think.
And that just needs mixing all together.
Add a little bit of olive oil, I think, just so it separates the meat out a little bit. Thank you. Yeah, better. That is looking very nice indeed.
And just in time, mate. Look at that.
That's a lovely dough.
I want about a quarter of this. This should make 4 svihas. We need to work on that dough so it's thin enough to pass light through without tearing, of course. Well, as thin as we like, don't we, for this?
Yeah.
If I was from Naples, I'd swing this round my head now.
Yeah, you would.
So I lift this. It doesn't matter if it stretches. Look at that. That on there. Over to you, maestro.
I'll start from the centre and work out, I think. It's got to be quite thin as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of potency in that filling. I'm going to add some thinly sliced red onion with some lemon zest. Happy?
Very.
And I suppose the cooking instructions are hot as you like, and it's done when it's ready.
Exactly.
About 10 minutes, I reckon. Just pop it on a heated pizza stone.
Perfect. Look at that.
Hasta la vista. Yes! I can't wait to eat this, Kingy. It's something I really fancy eating. Back in Scotland, back on the road, my best mate.
While that's cooking, we've just got time to create a Syrian-inspired salad using that lovely veg grown right here on the island.
Well, look, I'll just build it on the plate then. See, healthy cuisine, Dave.
While you're doing that, I can work on the dressing. I'm mixing up some olive oil and cider vinegar, then adding some sumac to give it the taste of sunnier climes. And sumac's wonderful.
It's lovely, I love it. So we've got some iceberg lettuce, little gems, bit of frisee, yeah. Got some mint in there as well. We've got some fonds of dill. Got a few chilies here and there. Nice radish. No, we can't have without these.
The jewel.
That pomegranate not only adds flavour, but also a nice fleck of colour too. We're also going to throw on some fennel, spring onion and tomato.
You gonna dress it?
I will.
That looks so good, mate.
Well, that's the salad done. Have a look, mate. It'd be good if that was done as well.
Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, brilliant. Look at that. There's our salad.
And there we have it. A perfect combination of those Middle Eastern flavours and lovely fresh veg from the island.
Right.
This is the sort of food I actually really like to eat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Kind of,
it's tasty, it's vibrant.
Can I pass it over? Oh,
Oh, no, I'm all right. I've got a bigger piece. That was too small, that one.
That's very good.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Nice balance with the cumin.
The lemon's gorgeous, isn't it, at the top?
It is.
And the meat, the pepper.
So how's your eating habits changed in the last year or so, mate? Because you've had it pretty rough.
Oh, a lot. You lose weight, a lot of weight, and you're desperately trying to get the calories in. And it's hard, it's really hard. At one point, I was actually diagnosed as anorexic. Can you believe it, after all the dieting that we've done to keep underweight? But yeah, I'm doing all right now, I'm living with it, and
Yeah.
you know, my weight's stable, so whatever I'm doing, I'll carry on with it. And
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
you know,
Absolutely. Continue to do that.
well, yes, and I think this trip's going to do me the world of good, Mr. King.
So do I, mate. So do
Yes.
It's been a fair while since we last visited Butte, but something that hasn't changed over the years are these gorgeous landscapes. It's not hard to see why the island was recently voted the best place to live in the whole of Scotland.
But you also notice there's a real desire to make the sea and land work for the whole community. Which is where Paul and Lindsay come in. This dynamic duo are planning on bringing truffles back to the island.
Those delicious fungi grow just below the surface of certain trees and used to be found all over Scotland. But as the woodlands started to disappear, so did their natural habitat.
So these guys have planted an orchard of oak and hazel trees to give them a new home. Hello, Paul. Hello, Lindsay.
Lindsay,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
How's
see
it
you.
going? Nice to meet you.
Hiya,
It's getting
Paul.
better
How
by
are
the
you?
minute.
How's it
Hello,
going?
Lindsay.
This is remarkable.
Oh, and they've got another important member of the team to help out too.
And this is...
This is Rue. a
This
little
is your
truffle
truffle
dog.
hound.
In training. She's just a puppy.
And truffles are so unique and special. There is no other food, in my opinion, that imitates a truffle. It's kind of feral, it's sensuous.
Absolutely. And that really complex aroma, there's a couple of really interesting things there. So there's about 400 different volatiles, different scent compounds in there. So
You are such a scientist.
they're really complex. What they actually do is they grow in the root system of the tree.
Right.
So it's kind of like a glove covering a hand, so it covers the root system. And from that, it sends lots of fine threads into the soil.
Right.
They gather nutrients, send it to the tree, and the tree sends it sugars, so they have to be with a living tree. But also, they've evolved to be eaten. So, you know, so they're trying to entice us to eat them, and that's why they smell so good.
That's why they're seductive. So what are the common types of truffle that we find around here?
Well, in the UK as a whole, the most common one which is traded and harvested is our summer or autumn truffle, and that's this one here. And, you know, we're in June now, so this is early for this species. You get most in sort of September, October, November. But then we also have some winter truffles and some less commonly harvested ones, and some white garlicky truffles. So, yeah, we've got a few. We've got a few species in the UK.
It'll take around 6 years before these 2.5 acres will provide locals with the fruits of Paul's labour. But he's certainly had success growing them on the mainland, so I reckon the local truffle revolution will be worth waiting for.
It's a little bit more special
Yeah,
if it
that's
comes
it.
from your home soil, isn't it?
Yeah, it's excited some of the local chefs, actually, because Lindsay's been distributing to a few places.
so as they're harvested, they're sent to us. We'll sort of clean them, grade them, and then I will find, you know, like a restaurant. So that's kind of what we're hoping to do, is the sort of field to fork as quick as possible with regional truffles, so it can be as close to each restaurant as they can be.
Now, of course, growing truffles is one thing, but finding them beneath the surface is quite another. That's where little Rue comes in.
Can we just test how good Rue is at truffle? So if I disappear off and try and... I'll get a big one. Put one
Count
just
to
over
10.
here.
1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right. Don't worry, I've remembered where I've put it.
Right, yeah.
Go
So
on
do you
then,
want to
Rue.
test it? Let's see.
Yeah,
if...
go on, let's see if she's...
Rue, look at me. Good girl. You're going to find it. Come on, Rue, find it. Come on. Good girl.
Good
Come on.
girl.
Okay, find it, Roo. Find it. Find it. She'll put her nose to the ground and she makes this huffing and puffing noise.
Uh-huh.
So she has these tiny slits on the side of her nostrils and she's forcing the air over that. Find it, Roo. Good girl.
Yeah, she got it.
And porter truffle. Good girl.
Good.
Wow.
Yes.
And how old is
There
she?
you go, Roo. Just 9 months.
9 months. That's
Magic.
brilliant.
Yeah.
How great is that?
Well, I really hope little Roo and her specially trained nose is going to be kept busy in the coming years.
With Paul's knowledge and expertise, they will be able to maintain a level of consistent quality through their growing techniques. And as they progress, they're just going to get better and better.
Truffles always get my juices flowing, mate. And Paul's vision has given me a great idea for a recipe. We just need something else that's got a pretty impressive history in these parts. Haggis!
This butcher has been in Rothsay longer than anyone can remember. They use local produce, grazing right here on the island.
It's now run by brothers David and Ronald, who inherited the business from their father Alistair.
Hello,
Hey,
good
fellas.
morning. Welcome to McQueen the Butchers.
Well, this is pretty spectacular, I have to say.
Thank you.
You've got a wonderful array of stock here.
It is, it's great, isn't
We
it?
do our best.
We do try.
How long's the shop been here, David?
The shop itself, I think it's been here since
The
the turn of the
Butchers.
century. Yes,
Right.
definitely.
It's a family-owned business, right?
Yep,
Is that correct?
absolutely.
So how long has the
My
family had it?
Dad bought it in May 1976. There he is over there, keeping his eye on us. Sadly, he's no longer with us, but he's there, making sure we don't do anything too fancy.
Yeah, keeping his eyes. We were the kind of upstarts wanting to do different things. And
He couldn't get his head round that we'd be wanting to put something with a sauce on it or dust something with a coating or something. It was just not his style. His
No.
style was, you know,
Good old-fashioned
good
butchery.
old-fashioned mince and tatty dinners.
yeah.
The chip shop curry sausage looks good.
We got a gold award for that
Aye.
maybe several years ago.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So your dad would be like, what are you two doing?
Yes, what have you done to my shop?
There'd be hell on. There'd be hell on.
As cooks and greedy men, we love haggis.
Yeah,
It's a great product, born over centuries. It's spicy, it's tasty, it's rich.
It's
Right.
just superb, and it's really versatile.
Yeah.
Yes,
which gives
it's a versatile
It
ingredient.
is, which gives Dave and I the chance to fiddle about with it and kind of.
Oh,
but
it's,
it's good
it's
because
very versatile.
yeah. Can we have a look? Because we need a haggis, so it would be great if we could get one from you.
Here's your
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, let's celebrate
I'm
the
actually-
haggis.
Yes, let's.
You can definitely feel the weight of history within these walls. When Dad Alistair started in the trade as a messenger boy in the 1950s, there were 13 butchers on the island. Now, this is the only one left. But David's daughter Emma has just joined the business. So, there's hope for the future.
So, Ronnie, this is a centre of manufacture for your award-winning haggis, right?
Indeed, this is the engine room of the shop here.
Excellent.
This is the very raw ingredients of haggis.
Okay.
It's a lamb dish.
Yes.
We've got lamb light, which
Yeah.
is lung.
Lungs. Yep.
We'll get lamb heart.
Yep.
Lamb liver.
Yep.
Flank mutton.
So that's from the rear of the.
That's from
it's
the
kind
belly.
of rear belly.
The
isn't
belly.
It? Yes.
It's the belly. And onion. This is then roasted.
Right.
For about 2 hours.
Right.
It comes out
Like that.
like that, which doesn't look too pretty.
I mean, I've
agree.
seen prettier things.
Yeah,
But
we find that the slight caramelisation gives it a really nice flavour. To that, we've got a selection of seasonings here.
which will be top secret, obviously.
Yes.
What's in it?
Salt, white pepper,
Yeah.
black pepper, and a few other little things.
Which is the
Yeah,
little
which-
things are the
which we
secret
don't
bits.
talk about, but
No,
yes,
no,
they're
no.
there. Pinhead oatmeal. That's
Perfect.
important. It's not your drowned oatmeal or your milled oatmeal.
And as this is a traditional recipe, Ronnie's using ox intestine for the skin.
What we do with that is we soak it until it swells,
Yeah.
and then we can fill it out. Oh yeah.
What's this?
This is because it's offal. It's very lean.
Yes.
And this melts, and it goes into the oatmeal.
Well, let's
Show
get
you what
mixing,
we do.
shall we?
The oatmeal and that secret seasoning goes in first. then the suet mixed with onion, before the stars of the show.
So this is the lights, this is the heart, the lungs. Yeah.
Yes. It's just been minced, and you can see it's just a little bit rough.
Yes.
Not, you know, not too finely ground.
Yeah.
It gives the haggis texture. Final stage is to mix it.
Oh, you've done this before,
This is a
haven't you?
traditional way of mixing. I'm going to the very bottom, and I'm turning it over like that.
Got you.
And when I get to the other end, turn the bowl.
Yeah.
And I do the next section.
Did your dad show you how to do this, Ronnie?
Yes, he did. This was one of his speciality things, was haggis. It really was. It says his recipe.
Is it? Oh, is it?
Down to the letter, yep. And that is just about perfect.
Wow.
So that's ready to get into the machine.
Haggis was traditionally considered a poor man's dish, as it used the cheap cuts of meat. But looking at the skill Ronnie brings to this process, you can see why it's now considered a prestigious product in its own right.
Like a big sock.
And is that pretty robust, that intestine?
Yes, it is, but it doesn't lend to being boiled. It's a misconception. Haggis should be simmered.
Simmered, yeah, not boiled.
Yeah, a lot of people do a mistake of boiling it for an hour and it bursts. You get haggis soup right enough. So, pulling it out, making sure the air gets out, because you don't want an air pocket once it's cooked.
As it's going to be cooked in water, Ronnie's tying it up nice and tight, while adding a little McQueen tartan flourish to finish.
Cooked for 6 hours, nice and slow.
Yeah.
About 70 degrees.
That's for the pinhead oatmeal, isn't it? That's
right.
what that's for, yeah.
All the flavours in the oatmeal.
Oh, man. What a master lesson. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir.
And this is the boiler?
This is the boiler, and I've got a little chappie waiting to come out. Now look at him.
Oh,
He's...
man.
Yeah. Look at that, Si.
Oh, my goodness me.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
On you go. You have a little try of that.
Oh. Fresh out of the boiler?
Fresh
There's
out
nothing
of the boiler.
better.
Absolutely perfect. We always do a test bag.
Man.
Oh,
that is
for our
really,
breakfast.
really special.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear the lads have a healthy respect for their dad's traditions, but that doesn't mean they're afraid of mixing things up a bit, like these blaggis, a mix of haggis and black pudding.
All we do is we mould it into a nice shape.
Yeah.
Dead easy. And what I do with these is flour them, a wee bit of egg wash.
Yeah.
And there's some medium oatmeal, which is obviously finer than the pinhead.
Oatmeal gives a great crust, doesn't it?
It's fantastic.
And there we go.
And that bakes lovely. That's lovely with an egg or anything like that, you know? Absolutely fantastic.
Well, we came on the hunt for haggis, and I'd say that was mission accomplished.
Look at this. The birth of a new haggis.
The chieftain or the pudding race.
Wow. Oh, hey, man.
The wee guy.
Oh, still warm.
It is,
Oh, yes.
Well, lads, I think mission accomplished, don't you?
We do. Thank you so much for
Being
having
as
us
a
here.
visit.
So inspiring.
I'll never be the same again, having delivered a haggis with you. It's great.
Delivered the haggis.
No, King, I've been there just after your third born was born.
Yeah.
You never held your third born with that sense of affection.
No, I didn't. See you guys.
Ryan.
Thank you so very
Ta-da.
much indeed.
I think it's safe to say Alistair would be very proud of his new generation.
I think what is really interesting and noteworthy is that there was 13 butchers in Rothesay alone. There's now 1. And I think this business and this company are really trying to kind of keep what is a beautiful island and a beautiful town of Rothesay alive and well.
And watching those lads at work has inspired us to create our own dish using that magic ingredient.
We're going to make chicken balmoral. That's chicken breast stuffed with haggis, wrapped in bacon and served with a rich cream, pepper and whiskey sauce.
And with a nod to our new friend Paul and his puppy Roo, we're going to pair it up with a truffle mash.
I love this because it just says Scotland to me every time I eat it. It's like, oh.
Yeah, you know, this is great actually for an evening because you can do loads of them in a tray, roast it all off. But the haggis, the fat in it goes through the chicken and it's all encased in the bacon, so it's moist and juicy.
You're excited
Then
about
I
this,
am,
I
and then
can
the whiskey and the pepper and the cream. I love this. It might not be healthy, but by
God, it's good. Right then. I'm going to start by cutting a deep pocket into the chicken breast.
Haggis is such a wonderful, versatile ingredient, isn't it?
I love it. I mean, fundamentally, anything that remotely resembles haggis, I love.
I'm going to prepare a blanquette of bacon.
Oh, right.
I'm just going to stretch the bacon, because I don't want it to be too thick, but I want it to cover.
Now in goes that lovely haggis.
Yeah, you know, all haggis isn't made equal.
No, and I think what happens, if somebody gets a bad haggis, that puts them off for life. But this, you know, it's a belter.
And it's from beef, which is always good, isn't it?
That's a whopper, Kingy.
He's a big lad.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a big lad.
It's a chicken, it's like an ostrich.
When you're happy with your stuffing, wrap that lovely bacon around the chicken breast in a loving embrace.
There you go, look at those. It's economical, Kingy. I mean, there's 2 chicken breasts, leftover haggis, that'd feed 4.
Oh, easy.
We're going to pan fry them a little to start the caramelisation and get those juices flowing.
What we're trying to do is all of those overlaps in the ends, we're just trying to get them to go together in a caramelised loveliness.
You just get some colour on it as well, because it's going to bake in the oven.
Yeah.
So we'll get some colour on the top, but it's that bottom we want the crust.
Yeah, I want a crust on that.
Once it's in the oven, time to make that delicious whiskey sauce.
Right, I'll start with a room.
I'm adding some flour, a little butter to the pan, and some stock.
Just lightens it and gives it a deeper savoury note, doesn't it? Which is lovely.
Yeah, it's really good jelly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
In goes some cream, along with both Dijon and whole grain mustard. And not forgetting that lovely whiskey.
A rather nice peaty malt.
Right, just need to cook that out a bit, mate. Should be all right.
And I reckon if we temper that with chives and some lemon juice...
Perfect.
Perfection.
Be lovely, that. Because there'll be, like, an edge to it then.
Chives.
Perfect.
Lemon.
And that's us, mate, I think, then.
All we need now is the perfect accompaniment, inspired by our trip to the truffle orchard.
Now, traditionally, you'd serve your chicken balmoral with neeps and tatties.
You would.
Or what we call clapshot.
Well, we've got the mash.
Yeah, we need to show some kind of homage to Paul and his wonderful truffle. That's why we're going for truffle mash. A few drops of good quality truffle oil.
And then just mix it in.
Well, look at that, Kingy. Proper balmoral chicken, truffle mash and green beans.
It just needs a little sauce to finish.
Say when.
When?
I'm going straight for the haggis.
I'm not entirely sure which way to start.
Oh, the chicken is so juicy.
I'm not sure whether it's the haggis or the whiskey in the sauce, but there's something about being back in this part of the world that makes me feel nostalgic.
Now we're in Scotland, mate.
Yeah.
What did we always used to do in Scotland that would make us that faraway look in our eyes? Right, I'll give you a clue.
Go on.
10 to 2, 10 to 2, 10 to 2.
Oh, fishing, dude.
Yeah, fly fishing. Should we wet a
Can
line?
it not? Well, we can it not if we're here. Just for old time's sake, really.
Oh, aye.
I mean...
This is the best trip ever.
Back in the day, we'd ride these roads with nought but a tent to sleep in and a rod to catch our tea.
And if we didn't get lucky, we'd go to bed hungry. Fortunately, times have changed a little since then.
We're heading to Loch Fad, a few miles south of Rothsay. The name means long loch in the local tongue, and it certainly lives up to its name. 175 acres of natural beauty, filled with some of the finest fish in the world.
Oh, this is like the best, isn't it? How long is it since we've done this, Si?
I can't remember.
And today, we've come fully prepared.
So you see, Simon, I have a double prong attack here.
Oh, yeah.
A metre at the bottom, I have like a cat's whisker-esque thing, and I've got a little flyy thing further up. So I'm fishing on 2 depths, allegedly. Let's get some line off. Oh, it's posh tackle, posher than we had.
Right, yeah, everything was posher than we had.
And I reckon we might be in need of some of that posh tackle, Mugger.
Sorry.
Whoa!
No, mate, that was me.
No, it wasn't. I've just seen it rise right
Have
in
you?
front of us. Yeah, that was a big fish.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a big fish.
No
It was,
way.
honestly, that was some aerial, that was great. You all right, mate, fishing the same side?
Yeah, go on, yeah. You know, so my experiences over the past 18 months have made me realise, certainly this time last year, to do something like this, what I previously regarded as normal,
Yeah.
would be an unachievable dream.
Yeah.
You know, I long for this. But what I worry sometimes is that I didn't appreciate the normality I had.
Yeah.
I do now.
Yeah.
But cancer, there's nothing kicks you in the teeth like that.
Because it's an instant check-in with your own mortality as well, isn't it? And all the things that you hold dear. It must be really difficult, really difficult.
One thing I would say is, one has to live for today. You know, don't live for tomorrow because you don't know what's around the corner. It could be a double-decker bus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Live for today and don't worry so much.
Yeah.
You know,
because that's always been your big thing, worry, hasn't it?
I was
you
a
know?
stupid worrier.
Yeah.
I big stuff I'm all right. The worry, I'd worry about the daft stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm learning. You know, I'm still bad at it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, come on, Myers, get in perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there's nothing bigger than the perspective that you have to have when you've gone through the processes that you've gone through, like chemo and radiotherapy and all that sort of stuff.
No, and I mean, you know, it's a lot to get your head around. But you know, talking about light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Being here today with you, it's not just light, mate.
No.
It's a bloody searchlight.
Yeah, of course it is.
And this isn't catching fish.
No, that's very true. It's not.
Well, it's a good job we don't have to rely on our catch for supper tonight, mate. But I'm still leaving the lake fully nourished.
Oh, that's the best ever. Sharing the water with your best mate. Because fishing really isn't about catching fish. It's instant karma.
Sure.
It's lovely. I feel my body's... It's been lubricated by the loch, by friendship.
Well, I could have spent 7 weeks doing that, mate, with you.
This has been the most wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Yeah, it's great when you catch a fish. It's the anticipation, it's the camaraderie. There's no need to speak. It's just... For me to be back doing this means the world to me. It really does. Well, we haven't caught a fish, though.
Despite our lack of success on the loch, we've been inspired to create a dish that celebrates one of the great flavours of this beautiful part of the world.
We're going to make a salmon en croûte, stuffed with watercress, spinach and cream cheese, served with a delicious dill sauce.
Fishing with you, it was just a glorious experience.
It was.
It's like it used to be. Didn't catch a salmon, which is why we've had to buy one to cook it.
Go to the shop,
Well,
yeah.
Things don't change, do they?
No.
We're going to start by creating a poaching liquor for that lovely salmon.
I'll cut a shallot.
Yes. Sliced.
You want it sliced?
Yes, because we're going to chuck it away. It's just to get the flavour out into the broth.
Yes.
I'm also going to slice up some fennel, which will create a slightly aniseed flavour, added together with some dill, parsley and zest of lemon.
Pare a nice piece off. Beautiful. You smell it already, can't you?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Nature.
And then add a little water and wine.
Now, some salmon en croûte recipes call for the salmon to be baked in raw.
Right.
But you see, my theory is that sometimes it can make the pastry really wet, but also I want the flavour to go into the liquor. So use a couple of parboils of salmon, and we're just going to poach them. I reckon about 7 minutes is what I've done before, so it's not quite cooked through.
While the salmon poaches, we'll work on the filling, starting by wilting 200 grams of spinach.
When was the first time you came to Scotland, Si? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I came up loads when I was a kid. But we never seemed to drive south to go on holiday. We always drove north. Right, mate. That's ready.
Just so. The French would say à point.
While those delicious fillets are cooling, my spinach is ready to do the same.
And I mean, look, the reason that we're doing all of this is this needs to cool because obviously hot produce and pastry doesn't go together particularly well.
Nope.
And the same for the spinach because we don't want that pastry to get wet. We want it crisp and lush, don't we?
No. In the words of the immortal Mary Berry, nobody loves a soggy bottom.
No.
To avoid that embarrassment, I'm going to squeeze the liquid from the now wilted spinach before adding to the bowl to build the filling.
Now to this, mayonnaise, Kingy.
Yeah?
It just enriches it. Just a couple of tablespoons. And cream cheese.
I'll put that there, mate.
Goes with salmon, doesn't it?
Now for some watercress to give that filling a peppery bite.
Do you want all this chopped, mate?
Oh, no. Just about that much.
Right.
That gets chopped nice and fine. And then add some lemon zest.
As simple as you like, but this is the stuffing. But the lemon really brings it to life. The mayonnaise and the cream cheese adds richness.
Lovely.
And spinach, which is kind of traditional. Let's start to build this beast.
First off, I'm going to use some kitchen paper to dry out that lovely salmon.
Doesn't matter if it breaks up a little bit. Just try that.
Roll out some puff pastry, then lay it on a baking tray lined with parchment and place the salmon in the centre.
Goes on there.
Oh, very nice, Mr. Myers.
Followed by the filling.
Beautiful.
Michelangelo made salmon, it would be like this one.
And the other fillet goes on top. Then plenty of eggy wash before the tricksy bit.
Go like that. Go like that. Now the seam will end up on the bottom.
Trim any excess pastry and fold the ends to make a parcel.
We're going to flip it over, mate. Okay, form a nice shape. But what brings it all together is the lattice top.
Oh, yes.
I have my trusty lattice cutter. Now, here we go.
I know it's a little bit of an effort and a little bit of faff, but it's so worth it. It's lovely.
Yeah. Do you remember string vests?
Yeah.
Yeah, my father used to wear one, but they looked damned unattractive. Especially when my mother used to wash it. It ended up like a net from a trawler.
Carefully lift the lattice with the rolling pin and lay it over the egg-washed salmon parcel.
Look at that.
It's a nice, nice lattice work. Now we need to tuck that underneath, like so.
And then the final egg washes on the lattice, isn't it?
Put this in a preheated oven, about 180 degrees Celsius, for 30 to 40 minutes until golden brown.
Right, Mucker, well, while that's cooking, you're going to clean down. I might as well get on with the sauce, and then
Brilliant.
it's ready, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I'll drain the cooking liquor and squeeze all those ingredients a little bit. I'm not going to push them through the sieve, but I just want to get as much flavour out of them as I can. It smells great. I'm going to make a roux.
I've melted some butter in a pan, to which I add plain flour. Combine, then stir in milk until you have a smooth paste. Then, that lovely rich poaching liquor. Finally chop some dill and whisk into the mixture, along with some lemon juice and seasoning to taste.
Good? Yeah, beautiful. Could just cook in a bit more, don't it?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, let's check the salmon. Ho, ho, ho!
An absolute triumph, mate.
And it also makes up for the disappointment of coming back from the loch without a fish.
Voila. It's just lovely, isn't it, Si?
Oh, honestly, man, it is so tasty.
It's funny because the cream cheese and the mayonnaise in with the spinach, they just kind of enrich it. It's not like a cheese fest or a fat fest, is it?
No.
It's cooking like our mums used to do.
Exactly, and not wasting any flavour.
Do you know what? We must go fishing more often.
What, in the supermarket?
No! In the loch.
In the loch.
Well, we're coming to the end of our time here on beautiful Bute.
But on the way back to the ferry, we've been invited for a quick farewell lunch. And it looks like the whole island has come together to see us off.
And it's chance to bid farewell to some new friends. From the butcher, the baker, to the community garden maker.
Hey, this is good, isn't it?
Look, it's alive, isn't it? It's life.
Get in.
Wow. That table displays everything we've seen and tasted and felt since we've been on Bute. Cheers, thank you. Isn't that the most perfect-looking glass of refreshing beer? Beautiful.
I think we should say a big cheers to everybody. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen of Bute, from Dave and I just want to say thank you so very much for the welcome. Thank you very much for all the kindness and warmth you've shown us both. Thank you for your produce.
Yeah, and the food.
And the food, because it's epic. And we want to say a huge cheers and thank you to you all. So cheers to you all. Cheers. Well done. To the future of Bute. Here we go. Oh, no, you're dead welcome.
We haven't got rid of us yet.
No, you haven't. I think I might miss the ferry.
Well, I can't think of a better place to end our journey than here, amongst a traditional community that's facing firmly towards the future.
This is great. Look, I mean, look at this. You have a butcher who's been here since 1976. You have new people fleeing war-torn Syria that the community has completely embraced. Then you have a scientist that's then gone, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Why don't we try and do Bute truffles? Because there was truffles here. And then you have the most amazing volunteer scheme that are teaching people about horticulture and growing veggies and giving people a sense of place. How wonderful is that? And if that is not the conversation that should be happening throughout our country, what is? I don't know the answer to the what is, because it's happening here. It's brilliant.
And personally, this trip has left me invigorated too. A first meaningful step in a very long journey.
After 30 rounds of chemo, and I'm still having chemo, and some intensive radiotherapy, I'm back on the bike like a semi-normal person, because I've never been normal, so there's no point pretending. You know, I can enjoy the food, I can enjoy the sunshine, the camaraderie. I am one of the luckiest people on the planet, but by God, I realise it now. And I feel now amongst friends.
Next time, we're continuing our trek out west in glorious Dumfries and Galloway.
Look at it, it's so beautiful.
A rural and seafood paradise.
Oh,
the
lovely
Scottish
lobster. Come to Dumfries and Galloway for some of the most original pasta on the planet.
Despite our lack of success on the loch, we've been inspired to create a dish that celebrates one of the great flavours of this beautiful part of the world.
We're going to make a salmon en croûte, stuffed with watercress, spinach and cream cheese. served with a delicious dill sauce.
Fishing with you, it was just a glorious experience.
It was.
It's like it used to be. Didn't catch a salmon, which is why we've had to buy one to cook it.
Go to the shop,
Well,
yeah.
Things don't change, do they?
No.
We're going to start by creating a poaching liquor for that lovely salmon.
I'll cut a shallot.
Yes. Sliced.
You want it sliced?
Yes, because we're going to chuck it away. It's just to get the flavour out into the broth.
Yes.
I'm also going to slice up some fennel, which will create a slightly aniseed flavour, added together with some dill, parsley and zest of lemon.
Pare a nice piece off. Beautiful. You smell it already, can't you?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Nature.
And then add a little water and wine.
Now, some salmon en croûte recipes call for the salmon to be baked in raw.
Right.
But you see, my theory is that sometimes it can make the pastry really wet, but also I want the flavour to go into the liquor. So use a couple of parbets of salmon, and we're just going to poach them. I reckon about 7 minutes is what I've done before, so it's not quite cooked through.
While the salmon poaches, we'll work on the filling, starting by wilting 200 grams of spinach.
When was the first time you came to Scotland, Si?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I came up loads when I was a kid. Yeah. But we never seemed to drive south to go on holiday. We always drove north. Right, mate. That's ready.
Just so. The French would say à point.
While those delicious fillets are cooling, my spinach is ready to do the same.
And I mean, look, the reason that we're doing... Do you want all this chopped, mate?
Oh, no. Just about that much.
Right.
That gets chopped nice and fine. And then add some lemon zest.
Simple as you like, but this is the stuffing. But the lemon really brings it to life. The mayonnaise and the cream cheese adds richness.
Lovely.
And spinach, which is kind of traditional. Let's start to build this beast.
First off, I'm going to use some kitchen paper to dry out that lovely salmon.
Doesn't matter if it breaks up a little bit. Just try that.
Roll out some puff pastry, then lay it on a baking tray lined with parchment and place the salmon in the centre.
Goes on there.
Oh, very nice, Mr. Myers.
Followed by the filling.
Beautiful.
Michelangelo made salmon, it would be like this one.
And the other fillet goes on top. Then plenty of eggy wash before the tricksy bit.
Go like that. Go like that. Now the seam will end up on the bottom.
Trim any excess pastry and fold the ends to make a parcel.
We're going to flip it over, mate. Okay, form a nice shape. But what brings it all together is the lattice top.
Oh, yes.
I have my trusty lattice cutter. Now, here we go.
I know it's a little bit of an effort and a little bit of faff, but it's so worth it. It's lovely.
Yeah. Do you remember string vests?
Yeah.
Yeah, my father used to wear one, but they looked damned unattractive. Especially when my mother used to wash it. It ended up like a net from a trawler.
Carefully lift the lattice with the rolling pin and lay it over the egg-washed salmon parcel.
Look at that.
It's a nice, nice lattice work. Now we need to tuck that underneath, like so.
And then the final egg washes on the lattice, isn't it?
Put this in a preheated oven, about 180 degrees Celsius, for 30 to 40 minutes until golden brown.
Right, Mucker, well, while that's cooking, you're going to clean down. I might as well get on with the sauce, and then
Brilliant.
it's ready, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I'll drain the cooking liquor and squeeze all those ingredients a little bit. I'm not going to push them through the sieve, but I just want to get as much flavour out of them as I can. It smells great. I'm going to make a roux.
I've melted some butter in a pan, to which I add plain flour. Combine, then stir in milk until you have a smooth paste. Then, that lovely rich poaching liquor. Finally chop some dill and whisk into the mixture, along with some lemon juice and seasoning to taste.
Nare so gere nakatoki kike nai kara mola kuri samata pika pika zenaka nano kikata da hiramodi sine kimaki samarena Joanna kolansa butoku kemasu kotaki sukimanasi harikanitu konto si hanya kito hikasaki marisa genzanaki haritu
We must go fishing more often.
What, in the supermarket?
No! In the loch.
In the loch.
Well, we're coming to the end of our time here on beautiful Bute.
But on the way back to the ferry, we've been invited for a quick farewell lunch. And it looks like the whole island has come together to see us off.
And it's chance to bid farewell to some new friends. From the butcher, the baker, to the community garden maker.
Hey, this is good, isn't it?
Look, it's alive, isn't it? It's life.
Get in.
Wow. That table displays everything we've seen and tasted and felt since we've been on Bute. Cheers, thank you. Isn't that the most perfect-looking glass of refreshing beer? Beautiful.
I think we should say a big cheers to everybody. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen of Bute, from Dave and I just want to say thank you so very much for the welcome. Thank you very much for all the kindness and warmth you've shown us both. Thank you for your produce.
Yeah, and the food.
And the food, because it's epic. And we want to say a huge cheers and thank you to you all. So cheers to you all. Cheers. Well done. To the future of Bute. Here we go. Oh, no, you're dead welcome.
We haven't got rid of us yet.
No, you haven't. I think I might miss the ferry.
Well, I can't think of a better place to end our journey than here, amongst a traditional community that's facing firmly towards the future.
This is great. Look, I mean, look at this. You have a butcher who's been here since 1976. You have new people fleeing war-torn Syria that the community has completely embraced. Then you have a scientist that's then gone, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Why don't we try and do Bute truffles? Because there was truffles here. And then you have the most amazing volunteer scheme that are teaching people about horticulture and growing veggies and giving people a sense of place. How wonderful is that? And if that is not the conversation that should be happening throughout our country, what is? I don't know the answer to the what is, because it's happening here. It's brilliant.
And personally, this trip has left me invigorated too. A first meaningful step in a very long journey.
After 30 rounds of chemo, and I'm still having chemo, and some intensive radiotherapy, I'm back on the bike like a semi-normal person, because I've never been normal, so there's no point pretending. You know, I can enjoy the food, I can enjoy the sunshine, the camaraderie. I am one of the luckiest people on the planet, but by God, I realise it now. And I feel now amongst friends.
Next time, we're continuing our trek out west in glorious Dumfries and Galloway.
Look at it, it's so beautiful.
A rural and seafood paradise.
Oh, the lovely Scottish lobster.
Come to Dumfries and Galloway for some of the most original pasta on the planet.